In the heart of Central Asia, a storm was brewing. The vast steppes, usually calm and serene, were now under a dark and ominous sky, signaling the arrival of a force that would change the course of history. A young man, ambitious and ruthless, was about to unleash his fury upon the world. His eyes burned with a fierce determination, and his heart was set on conquest and glory. His name would be etched in history, both revered and reviled in equal measure. The chronicles of time would remember him as a formidable force, a name that would echo through the ages. He was Mehmud of Ghazni, the Sultan who would carve out an empire with his sword and forever alter the destiny of a subcontinent. His campaigns would stretch far and wide, leaving an indelible mark on the lands he conquered. Born in 971 AD, Mahmud inherited a legacy of war and conquest. His birth was a harbinger of the turbulent times that lay ahead. His father, Sebuktigin, a Turkish slave soldier, had risen through the ranks to establish the Ghaznavid dynasty in Ghazni, now present-day Afghanistan. This legacy of resilience and ambition was passed down to Mahmud. This volatile region, a melting pot of cultures and religions, would shape the young prince's worldview. The diverse influences around him would mold his character and ambitions. From a young age, Mahmud displayed a keen intellect and a thirst for knowledge. He was not just a warrior, but also a scholar, absorbing the wisdom of the ancients. He was also trained in the art of warfare, mastering the skills of swordsmanship, horseback riding, and military strategy. His training was rigorous, preparing him for the battles that lay ahead. Little did anyone know that this young prince would grow up to cast a long shadow over the world. His name whispered both in fear and admiration. His legacy would be a testament to his indomitable spirit and unyielding ambition. The path to power was paved with blood. When Sebuktigin died, a power struggle erupted. Mahmud, still a young man, was not the designated heir. His older brother Ismail claimed the throne. A clash was inevitable, a battle for supremacy that would determine the fate of the Ghaznavid dynasty. The two brothers, locked in a bitter feud, rallied their supporters. The clash came at Ghazni, a decisive battle that would seal their fates. Mahmud, a skilled military strategist, outmaneuvered his brother, crushing Ismail's forces and claiming his birthright. Victory brought both triumph and responsibility. In 998 AD, at the age of 27, Mahmud ascended the throne of Ghazni. He was now Sultan, the undisputed ruler of a powerful kingdom. But Mahmud's ambitions stretched far beyond the borders he inherited. He envisioned an empire, vast and mighty, and he would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. Mahmud's reign marked a turning point in Islamic history. He saw himself as a champion of Islam, a warrior king destined to spread the faith and vanquish its enemies. His gaze fell upon the wealthy and fragmented kingdoms of India, ripe for conquest. Year after year, Mahmud led his armies across the Indus River, launching a series of devastating raids into the Indian heartland. His military prowess was unmatched. He was a master of both cavalry and siege warfare, employing a potent combination of speed, strategy, and sheer brutality. The Indian kingdoms, divided by internal strife and ill-prepared for Mahmud's lightning raids, crumbled one after another. From the Punjab plains to the deserts of Rajasthan, Mahmud's name became synonymous with terror and destruction. He plundered cities, razed temples, and amassed unimaginable wealth, sending shockwaves through the Indian subcontinent. Section 4. Riches of the East. Mahmud's campaigns were not just about religious zeal, they were also fueled by a lust for wealth and power. India, with its fabled riches and vast treasures, was a prize too tempting to resist for Mahmud and his armies. Each raid brought back mountains of gold, silver, jewels, and slaves, filling the coffers of Ghazni and transforming it into a center of opulence and grandeur. The wealth amassed from these expeditions was beyond imagination. The Sultan's court became a beacon for scholars, poets, artists, and craftsmen, drawn by his patronage and the lure of his fabulous wealth. It was a melting pot of ideas and creativity. Among them was the renowned scholar al-Biruni, whose chronicles provide invaluable insights into the life and times of Mahmud of Ghazni. His works remain a crucial source of historical knowledge. Mahmud used his immense wealth to strengthen his army, fortify his cities, and embellish his capital. His military might was unmatched in the region. He built grand mosques, extensive libraries, and lush gardens, transforming Ghazni into a rival to the greatest cities of the Islamic world. His architectural endeavors were legendary. The Sultan's patronage of arts and learning left an indelible mark on the cultural landscape of the region, fostering an environment where knowledge and art flourished. Section 5. The Storming of Somnath. Of all Mahmud's campaigns, it was his raid on the Somnath temple in 1025 AD that would secure his place in both history and legend. The temple, located on the western coast of India, was a site of immense religious significance for Hindus and renowned for its legendary wealth. The Sultan's army marched across the desert, their eyes set on the prize. The defenders of Somnath, though vastly outnumbered, put up a fierce resistance. But Mahmud's forces were relentless, their attack fueled by a potent mix of religious fervor and greed. The fall of Somnath sent shockwaves throughout India. The temple, a symbol of Hindu faith and power, was desecrated and looted. Its great lingam, a representation of the Hindu deity Shiva, was smashed to pieces, and its fragments were carried back to Ghazni as trophies of war. Section 6. Legacy of the Sword. Mahmud of Ghazni died in 1030 AD, leaving behind a vast and powerful empire. He was a complex and contradictory figure, a ruthless conqueror and a discerning patron of the arts, a devout Muslim and a pragmatist who maintained diplomatic relations with non-Muslim rulers. His legacy is fiercely contested. In Afghanistan and Pakistan, he is often hailed as a national hero, a champion of Islam who expanded the frontiers of the faith. In India, he is largely remembered as a ruthless invader, a destroyer of temples, and a plunderer of wealth. The truth, as always, is far more nuanced. Mahmud's campaigns, while motivated by religious zeal, were also driven by political ambition and economic pragmatism. He was a product of his time, an era of intense religious fervor and constant warfare. Section 7. Twilight of an Empire. Mahmud's successors were unable to maintain his vast empire. The once unified territories began to fragment under the pressure of internal conflicts and external threats. Internal strife, coupled with the rise of new powers, gradually chipped away at the Ghaznavid domains. The empire's borders shrank as regional leaders asserted their independence. By the mid-12th century, the once mighty empire had crumbled, its glorious capital, Ghazni, sacked and burned. The devastation marked the end of an era, yet Mahmud's impact on the course of history was undeniable. His military campaigns and administrative strategies left a lasting imprint. His conquest paved the way for the establishment of Muslim rule in northern India, forever altering the cultural and religious landscape of the subcontinent. The influence of his reign can still be felt today. He left behind a legacy of military innovation, administrative reforms, and cultural patronage that would continue to influence the region for centuries to come. His vision reshaped the political and social fabric of the time. The story of Mahmud of Ghazni is a tale of ambition, conquest, and the clash of civilizations. It is a narrative filled with triumphs and tragedies. It is a story that continues to resonate, reminding us of the enduring power of faith, the allure of wealth, and the enduring legacy of empire. The echoes of his empire's twilight still linger in the annals of history.